Sarah was only 10 when her life changed forever. The accident, or so they called it, left her face horribly scarred. The hot water had peeled her skin, leaving behind dark, rough patches that never truly healed. Her stepmother, Linda, swore it wasn't intentional, but the cold look in her eyes told a different story. Sarah's father, Mark, did little to stand up for her. Maybe he was afraid of Linda, or maybe he just didn't care enough. From that moment, Sarah became the girl with the burnt face. When she returned to school after months of healing, the whisper started. Why does her face look like that? She looks scary. She should just cover it up. Loneliness became her shadow. Sarah learned to live in silence. She sat at the back of the class, never raised her hand, and kept her head down. She avoided mirrors because every time she looked at herself, she saw the scars and the pain behind them. When she got to university, things didn't change much. Boys avoided her. Girls whispered behind her back. She even overheard a group of them say, "Who would ever want to date her?" That night, she cried herself to sleep. She stopped dreaming of love. Maybe she wasn't meant for it. One afternoon, while walking home from class, she tripped over a stone. Her books scattered everywhere. Before she could gather herself, a hand reached out. "Are you okay?" She looked up. A young man stood before her, smiling warmly. His name was James. He was new in school, studying medicine. Unlike everyone else, he didn't stare at her scars. He looked at her eyes. That day, they talked. And then, they kept talking. For the first time in years, Sarah laughed freely. She didn't feel like a burden. James never treated her like she was different. He called her intelligent, funny, and beautiful. Beautiful. She thought he was joking. But when he looked at her, she saw nothing but admiration. One evening, James sat her down and held her hands. "Sarah, I want to do something for you." She looked at him, confused. "What is it?" "I want you to have the best facial reconstruction surgery in the world. There's a hospital in New York with top specialists, and I want you to go there." Her heart skipped a beat. "James, that would cost a fortune." He smiled. "I know. And I don't care. I'll pay for everything." Sarah's eyes widened. "But why? I thought you said you love me the way I am." James cupped her face gently. "I do. I'm not complaining about your looks, Sarah. To me, you're already beautiful. But I also know how much pain your scars have caused you. If this surgery will make you happy, then I want to do this for you." Tears streamed down her face. No one had ever loved her like this before. A month later, Sarah boarded a plane to New York. The surgery took hours. The recovery took weeks. And then, the moment of truth arrived. The doctor carefully removed the final bandage. Sarah gasped. The scars were gone. Her skin was smooth. She looked into the mirror, and for the first time in years, she smiled. For the first time, she saw herself, not as a victim, but as a new woman. The most beautiful girl on campus. When Sarah returned to school, jaws dropped. Is that really her? She's so beautiful. I can't believe it's the same Sarah. Suddenly, the same people who had mocked her now wanted to be her friends. Boys who once ignored her now wanted to take her out. But Sarah wasn't fooled. She knew their admiration was only for her looks, not for who she was inside. Only James had loved her before the transformation. He had seen her true beauty when no one else did. One evening, he took her hands and said, "Sarah, whether you have scars or not, you're still the same amazing woman I fell for. I love you, not because of how you look, but because of who you are. Please be my wife. I want to spend the rest of my life with you." Tears welled up in her eyes. She had waited her whole life to hear those words. Happily ever after. Years later, they got married. It was a beautiful wedding. Sarah walked down the aisle, her face glowing, not just from beauty, but from confidence. She she had suffered. She had been mocked. But in the end, she found love, the kind that saw beyond scars, beyond beauty, beyond everything. As James held her close at the park,